Welcome to the Closers Network podcast. I'm your host, Mike Sadikian, and this show is for closers, entrepreneurs, and ambitious people who are hungry to sharpen their sales skills, dominate sales, and create real wins in life and in business.
I was always surrounding myself with this type of an energy, this type of an environment, but then I would go and hang out with the friends and the family, and then everything that I was excited about, learned here, shit, overnight was like just gone. Like I'm in that mindset again. Environment matters. It's huge.
Yeah.
And so eventually I came to the realization where this ain't going to work. But I also understand that's not where the world's been headed, right? And I have to adapt, and we have to become, and we have to do. But again, just so you know, out of 500 closers in our sales agency, one of the top closers, if not the top, is on the older side, right, of the team. And she's having probably the biggest impact. And in 3 years in the company, she made $1 million in commissions earned in her pocket, right? Wow. Commissions earned.
That's cool.
So it's definitely possible. Obviously, it comes down to having a vehicle where the opportunity for that is available.
Yeah, I agree. I've coached and mentored in sales. So yeah, I keep telling everybody, hey, don't ever use the word "I can't." That's an ending statement with a period that has no hope. Always ask the question, "How can I?" And so yeah, I'm learning all this new stuff and everything, and I'm loving it. I was a network field engineer for 8 years, so I do understand tech a little bit, and I get a little bit of pushback. I think a lot of people don't want to give me a SaaS offer, thinking that it's going to be too technical or above my pay grade. But anyways, yeah, I appreciate that info.
Well, leverage this community on those conversations. Like, hey, have you ever heard of One Call Closers or the Closers Network?
Exactly.
And whether yes or no, it's like, well, hey, I'm not sure how much you know about them, but they work with some of the biggest names in the space.
Yep.
And I actually coach with them, right? I come on the coaching calls that they provide. We do free coaching here 5 days a week, that you can come on, ask questions, get support for anything that you need. So it's like, hey man, I have leverage. I'm not necessarily alone, but I have a power team at the Closers Network backing me up. So whatever it is, I can tap into that network. I can tap into their experiences.
Yep.
They've scaled and done $200 million of revenue in just 5 years of being in business, right? They know what they're doing. And so I would just leverage our name and being able to show up on these calls as maybe some leverage of like, no, dude, like, yeah, I might be a quote unquote, like, in the dinosaur side of things, but I know what I'm freaking doing. I know what I'm talking about, right?
Exactly.
And that's the one thing nobody can take away is the ability of knowing what you know. So that's how I would leverage it.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Pravesh.
Yeah, so like my question is like the other day I was like, I first of all, let me just give a little bit back context. So yeah, I actually landed my first ever offer like last week as an appointment setter, and I actually managed today to to like set up a little bit of appointments, but there were the moments when like I wasn't able to really like set the appointments, and that really had my mind had that limiting belief that okay, I even good at sales and extra that stuff. Like, so tell me, like, how do you overcome that self-doubt thing?
Oh man, that's well, to be honest with you, a part of that, it's like a never-ending battle, right? Because sales is a mindset sport, and so a lot of how you show up is going to start right here. And if you're dealing with personal stuff in life showed up for you personally, that's going to most likely translate into the professional side of things. So if you don't have your mind right and you don't have your mindset dialed in, and by the way you do that is you surround yourself with people that have a positive mindset. You cut people out of your life that aren't serving you, that aren't on board with the mission, right? All of the naysayers, all of the negativity, you got to cut it out. You got to just focus on positive. You got to surround yourself with positive. It's not an overnight process, man. That takes months. It takes years for you to really master and dial in. Just like anything good in life that you want to accomplish, it takes time. And I'll be honest with you, if sales was easy, like everybody would do it, right? But it's simple, but simple doesn't mean it's necessarily easy. So the way that you have to understand, especially in the position that you're in starting out, is you're going to have a lot of doubt. You're going to be in your own head. Man, I thought about quitting. I can't even tell you how many times. I didn't know if sales was going to be for me. I thought about throwing in the towel. Like, is this, is this that? But do you want to be in sales is the question that you have to ask yourself, right? Is this something that I want to do? And if I'm committed to sales, I'm not just interested in sales, I'm committed to it. I have to understand that this is part of the process, right?
Okay.
Battling with my mind, having negativity, dealing with all sorts of issues that are going to come up for me personally. I have to understand that I need to control my emotions. So I could give you a couple books to recommend, and I would definitely watch and read those books or listen to them to help you out with that. So one of the books that I recommend is actually called Mindset. I'm trying to remember exactly who the author was on that, but probably honestly one of the greatest books is one called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. I would definitely recommend listening to that one. And so sorry, I got a call coming in. I got to make that call real quick, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. But so I would recommend understanding that book, The Untethered Soul, because you're going to understand how your brain works. And when you can understand how your brain works, you can get ahead of it and know exactly how to work it by having that information. And you're going to realize that every day, all of us here on this call, we have 5,000 to 7,000 thoughts on average, right?
Yes.
Sometimes even more. Yeah. Okay, well, then we understand about 90% of those thoughts are just negative. And it's just always bad, negative, it's the worst case scenarios. The stuff that what if, right? The anticipation of future pain, which always creates anxiety. What is anxiety? It is anticipation of future pain. Guess what alleviates anxiety? Action, right? Action alleviates anxiety. And so when you can understand, like, dude, my brain's like an antenna. It doesn't necessarily understand good or bad thoughts. It's just taking in the thoughts. But I have to be aware of the thoughts and realize, like, yes, I'm having these thoughts. They're happening to me. They're actually real. But just because they're happening and they're real, the actual thoughts that are coming doesn't necessarily mean that's going to define the truth.
Yes.
Right? That doesn't mean because this thought came in my head that this is going to actually be the outcome. Your mind is playing tricks on you. Anyone on this call, if you think about what's the worst thing you've ever thought about happening, most people I've asked that question to says that worst thing has never became a reality. It's because most of the time we put it in our own head. But again, just because it's there and just because we've thought about it doesn't mean that that's what the outcome and the reality of it is. So you need to get really good at playing this game and understanding for the rest of my life, dude, I'm going to have bad thoughts. And I have to recognize and understand, I don't need to dwell on these thoughts. They're going to come and go. What do I need to focus on right now? Let me put my time, attention, and energy and focus on this. And once you start focusing on this, and that's, what is it? That's action, right? You're focused on resolving this problem by taking action. Action is going to alleviate the anxiety that you're having. And it's going to make things just so much more easier and effortless for you. Now, again, this is not an overnight game. This is not something I'm going to be a perfectionist tomorrow, right? But in about 3 to 6 months, you could be at a totally different spot than you are right now. And like, damn, like I have control of my mind right now. And by the way, the more you show up, the more action you take, the more consistent you are, the more discipline and grit that you build, you actually become that person. Through the action, right? Through the action, through doing the work, through showing up every day, even though, I didn't quite get that one deal to the finish line. I couldn't get that person to set an appointment. That's okay. Guess what? I'm going to come back tomorrow. I'm going to show up the same way that I show up day one, with the same excitement, right? The same energy, the same conviction. And just because one person said no to me, is not going to define whether or not I'm a good setter, a bad setter, a good closer, a bad closer, right? I just got to go back to doing the work. What is the work? Whatever the work is for you in that case, right? Focusing on what do I need to do? And doing that, again, over the course of 3 to 6 months, in my opinion, you become a whole nother version of you that you're not now. We'll call it 2.0 version, right? So you could go from 1.0 to 2.0 and it's like, damn, I'm in a new spot. And
Yes.
again, you just have to always recognize, no matter what level you're playing at, even if you're playing at someone who is at a crazy level, right, that's already making $500,000, $1 million a year in sales, that person's dealing with the same stuff you're dealing with in your own head. Like, just because
Okay.
you get good at it eventually doesn't mean it goes away. You're always going to be in a constant battle with your mind. And the most important thing that dictates that is the environment that you're in.
Okay.
And if you're not in the right environments, it is so easy to get dragged and
Yes.
complacent and have this other person tell you why this doesn't make sense because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe there was some truth in what they were saying. Maybe this, maybe that. You got to cut them out. You got to cut them out and focus only on the positive. Focus only on the good, man. And I had to cut people out of my life, you know, family, friends, because I realized none of them were serving me. And I was always surrounding myself with this type of an energy, this type of an environment. But then I would go and hang out with the friends and the family. And then everything that I
Yes.
was excited about, learned here, shit, overnight was like just gone. Like, I'm in that mindset again. Environment matters. It's huge.
Yeah.
And so eventually I came to the realization where this ain't going to work. This isn't sustainable. I cannot keep having this battle with my mind. Even me, I was struggling. Like, yeah, I'm positive, I'm good, I'm convicted, everything's great, I'm showing up. And then you get one freaking naysayer that says this or says that, and then now you're in your own head. You're battling
Yeah.
yourself, right? And it's like, oh man, were they right? Was this this? Was this that? Dude, just because another person is not willing to go out of their way and challenge themselves and get out of their comfort zone and do the things that you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole
Yeah.
different thing. Like, they're really
Okay.
just talking about themselves. They don't want you
Yeah.
to
So,
rise up because they're really focused on, they don't want to get uncomfortable. They don't want to grow as a person. And this is
okay.
one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made. When I
Okay.
first got
Get it.
into self-development 8 or 9 years ago, was
Oh,
I tried convincing these naysayers and family and friends to become 2.0 version, to become better, to invest in themselves and their mindset, right? To have this
yeah.
bug of self-development and getting better. Worst mistake I've ever done. I did that for 2 years, trying to convince anybody. You know how many people I converted? Zero. Zero
Oh,
people decided they wanted to make a change because I was trying to change them. Nobody wanted internal change. None of those people around me, those friends, those family, they didn't say, yeah, Mike, I want to become positive too. Yeah, Mike, I want to do X, Y, and Z too. They were more so like, well, why are you doing this? Are you sure you want to do that? Da 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 da. And then eventually I was like, okay, this gotta cut it out. Gotta cut it
yeah.
out, man. So hope that helps you.
Yeah. And the second question that I had the other day, I came up with a reel, like wherein, I don't know if you know that guy, like Josh or something. I don't know his surname, but yeah, he was just like, sort of promoting like a scriptless selling. So do you think that scriptless selling is possible?
I don't know who's Josh. Josh what?
Josh Lance or something like that. I don't remember his name,
Josh
but
Lyons?
yeah, Josh Lance.
Yeah. So we don't use scripts in our sales agency. We use frameworks. So I
Okay.
don't know what he's talking about. I'd have to really understand what he's talking about, but scripts are kind of like outdated. They work for certain things and for
Okay.
certain people, but what happens is you sound scripted, right? Now you sound like you're reading off of something. When you can understand the framework of the call or the framework of your setting role is, I'm trying to accomplish X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to understand if my product's a service for them. I'm trying to see if I can help them. I'm trying to see if I could set the appointment as an example, right? Well,
Yeah.
that's the framework of the call. Okay, what do I need to do in each phase of that framework to, before I move on to the next part of the framework, to make sure this is addressed? So you need to understand what that is. So I think absolutely you could sell without having a script, right? But if you
Yeah.
don't have any experience, I think the script can help, and I think a framework is better suited for you, right? Just so
Yeah.
you not rely on the script, but you know what is the intention, what is the outcome of the conversation that I'm trying to have here.
Yeah. And lastly, I hope I'm not taking too much time, but
No,
real
this is
quick,
great.
real quick, like 2-3 days ago I had a mock call wherein I tried actually following the framework that I usually follow, and I tried to do it scriptless. But the person, like the prospect, the person who was pretending to be a prospect, he was like, oh man, it's so overwhelming because you are just asking questions after questions. Like that really happened in the discovery phase, you know what I mean? Like, so can you tell how can I, just know that okay, I'm not over asking my prospect?
Yeah, obviously I don't know exactly what's in your framework, but if somebody were to tell me, dude, you're asking a lot of questions, where, dude, I don't like, I'm trying to see if I could help you solve this problem, right? Whatever the problem is, whatever you're setting for. So, hey, man, if you respect your time, and I'm not trying to waste it by any means, but I need this information in order to best help you. So, if you don't necessarily want to give me the information, that's totally fine. But we can part ways as friends and get off this call. But I don't know if I could have a solution to the problem that they have, whatever they signed up for, right?
Yeah.
So is this something you're dealing with or not? And again, I don't know what you're selling or you guys are selling over there, but
So yeah, I'm
is
just
this
selling
something
like
you need help with or not?
okay. So I'm selling like a fitness program, not selling like
Yeah.
setting appointments
So
for fitness program.
yeah, hey, totally understand. I'm asking a lot of questions. I totally get it, but this is what we found is the best way to be able to get the most amount of information to help the most amount of people. Do you have maybe another 5 or 10 minutes? Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Right? Or also your conversation could maybe sound like too, like, I'm only here to ask a question, as opposed to having a connection with the person, making it a little bit more fun, making them laugh throughout that, right? Not just taking it
Yeah.
so serious where it's like, man, I have to ask all these questions, but how do I incorporate a little bit of sizzle in that? How do I have some fun on this call? How do I lighten the mood? It's like, hey, yeah, totally get it. I might be asking a lot of questions. If I'm overstepping my boundaries, like, let me know. But what we
Yeah.
found is, hey, the best way to get the most help to the people that we can help is in asking these questions. There's a reason for it. Hey, is it okay? Do you have another 5 or 10 minutes? I can just wrap this up for you real quick.